What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, this is kind of a little random, not really random, but I just got off from work and it's about almost 10 o'clock, and I never wanted to video this in the beginning just because I just wanted to figure out what the hell is going on with Jalen's Evil. But let me go ahead and explain. So we drove the car on Sunday. We met up some friends, hang out, have breakfast and whatnot, drove the car home, cruised it, everything was good. We let the car sat for like a few days, jumped back on the car, tried to start the car, and it just clicked. So I figured it might be the starter because we had that issue before in the past. So I went down to O'Reilly, got another starter, put it on, and it still did the exact same thing. So I'm like, huh, the hell is going on? So I made sure I double checked the power, checked the wire to the solenoid, and everything looks good. So I'm thinking, oh, it might be just a faulty starter because it's a reman. So I ended up taking the starter off of my car and put it on top Jalen's car because I know it's good, and it did the exact same thing. I read some forums, I did double check the starter relay, which is the 40 amp, which is located in the engine bay. There's a forum that I saw that which everyone says it's a common issue is the ignition switch. Right now it's just kind of very irritating. Like, we just fixed the coolant holes and then there's like another problem. It's like one problem after another, which is really sucks. I know for a fact that it's getting power from the starter because you can clearly hear the starter clicking, the solenoid. So I know that's for sure. I'm not too sure how much voltage that it's getting from there, getting from the ignition switch to the starter. I don't have my multimeter with me, so I'm just kind of play as it goes. I might just end up pulling the steering cover panel underneath the dash, take that out, check the ignition switch, and hopefully that could be the issue. I did watch some videos that they tear apart the ignition switch, and I guess inside there's like a little dip. I don't know, I don't want to explain it and give you guys the wrong information, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dig through. Hopefully that we find a problem. Hopefully it's just a simple fix. That's all I care about. All right, guys, I went to go ahead and take off the steering cover and also the under panel of the dashboard. Here is the ignition switch, and what I did notice is that when I went to go ahead and put the key into the ignition, I don't know if this is normal, but you could see it moves. Let me go ahead and put it nice and close. You can see it moves just a little bit. I don't know if that's normal. And also, if you want to go ahead and grab it, you can see how loose that is. So I don't know if that's normal. I'm gonna go ahead and just take off my covers and panels and do a comparison on my Evo and see if it does do the exact same thing. The first thing that you want to do is take out this panel underneath the dashboard, 2 screws on each side, and then you just gotta pull it, pop it out, and just let it hang. And also there is a screw behind this dim switch. Use my key. There you go. Pull this out, and there's a 10mm bolt which I probably forgot to take out. So now there is 3 screws on the steering column on the bottom. You just gotta take out. Then you gotta go ahead and separate it from the top. All right, so there you go. The battery is disconnected anyway, so we're not gonna start the car. I'm gonna go ahead and see if this thing is gonna do the exact same thing what it does on Jalen's car. I guess it does the same. I mean, this one has a little wiggle. Maybe if I should go ahead and tighten the screw right there, it might help. I don't know. I guess we'll just give it a shot. Okay, I went to go ahead and tighten the screw. It feels a lot firm now, so I'm not too sure if that's gonna fix the issue, but let's go ahead and start up the car and see what happens. Nope. Doesn't even do anything. Okay, so we know that didn't fix the issue. I went to go ahead and check the 40 amp fuse box, which is the starter relay that's located right over here. So I did check on the condition. It looks good. I even took my 40 amps from my Evo and put it on top here, and nothing changed. So my starter off from my Evo is on top Jalen's Evo. So we know for sure that those 2 things that was on top of my car was already working perfectly. So we know that's not the issue. The thing that I really want to do is to pull the power cable and that plug to the cylinder from the starter, and actually look at the condition and see if I'm missing something. Hope that it's just a simple fix, and it will be very, very helpful if I even have my multimeter with me so we can go ahead and check voltage. But obviously we don't have that with me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try my best to kind of look through everything. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Good morning, guys. It is now the next day. I went to go ahead and just put the camera down because I was getting a little bit frustrated just trying to figure out what is going on with Jalen's car. So I got to thinking. So last night I just did all my research, just making sure that I check all the basic source, which means check the fuse, check the ground, check the power, check all that, just the simple stuff first. This morning I went to go ahead and look at a car, and one thing that kind of caught me looking over here, I was like, let me just go ahead and just double check the power, the ground, the plug to the solenoid, making sure that all that is good, because it just feels like car just wants to start, but it just feels like it's not getting enough voltage and not enough voltage supply that it needs to crank the car over. So I just went to go ahead and just check the cable, the plug to the solenoid. What I ended up doing is that I went to go ahead and just split this open just because it was dirty and grease. Clean it out with brake clean, retaped it with electrical tape. This plug over here to the solenoid, this was already like this when I got the car, so I think what really happened is that it was leaning on top of the cable when you went to go ahead and put the starter on, and it basically melt. But I don't have an extra one. I could just run this for now until we can find a replacement. So yeah, so this is what I found. I went to go ahead and touch this. It's supposed to have a nub. This battery terminal is not factory, but the battery fusible link, this over here was a little bit loose, and I did notice that there was a little bit corrosion, so maybe it had poor contact. Maybe that's the reason why that we're not getting full voltage to the starter. But to go ahead and clean the surface, slap it back on, and then making sure that this is really, really tight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plug the starter. I have the new starter on top there, just making sure everything else is good. I want to go ahead and put the ignition switch back on, the original that's on this car, and making sure everything else is plugged in good, making sure everything else is tight, and hopefully, cross my finger, it's just that. All right, guys, so we got the starter on, making sure that our positive and battery cable are tightened. We should be able to start this car up, and cross our fingers, and hopefully this thing will turn on, or crank, you should say. Jeez. Hey. Hell yeah. We did it, guys. We got the car started. I'm so freaking pumped right now. Damn, that was just an easy freaking fix. I think I should have just checked that before I went down deeper and just started messing up with the ignition switch and the starter and all that stuff. But damn, I am so freaking pumped, guys. Hell yeah. I know there's a lot of forums, a lot of videos that people had issue with starting on your Evo 8 and 9. The common problem was they said that it has to do with an ignition switch, which wasn't the problem for Jalen's Evo. We ended up replacing the starter. That didn't do anything, so the power cable, positive terminal, fusible on that area wasn't tightened, so that's what we found. Cleaned the cable from the starter because it was greasy, so that could be another issue too. I hope this really helps for anybody out there. Just make sure you just check all the basics, because this could have been an easy fix and an easy look to look over rather than me diving in and thinking it's a starter. But thankfully we got that all figured out. I'm gonna go ahead and start reinstalling all the charge pipe and everything, button up the interior, making everything clean. Let's go for a test drive, making sure that it's not gonna happen again, which, cross my finger, I hope it doesn't. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. just got home from a ride. I went to go ahead and return the starter, got my full money back. There's no starting issues, which is really good. It just starts right up, doesn't click. I just hope that whatever information on this video will help you guys out. This was just a simple, easy fix. It could have been a simple, easy fix if I kind of start with the basics. So make sure you do the basic, check your power, ground, and all that stuff before you go diving into looking at the ignition switch or the starter itself. I'm really happy, and we got a brand new starter, which is really nice, so we don't have to worry about that. And I just hope that starter won't crap out on us again. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Hello guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.